In the end, it all comes down to your mind, the quality of your mind. It really doesn't matter the type, the level, the intensity, the nature of the problems in your life. Because the question is not what kind of a problem do you have, and instead it should be reframed, and the question should always be what kind of a mind do you have. The reason being, any difficulty or problem in your life doesn't really exist out there in the world. Out there in the world, it's not a problem. It's just a thing. It's just a phenomenon. And only when you yourself start to take this thing and mix it with your own story, does it then start to take the shape or form of a difficulty for you in your mind. Your mind then creates a whole scenario out of that one issue until you are thoroughly convinced that there exists a problem out there that you need to tackle. By this time, your trickster mind has successfully tricked you into thinking that there exists a certain issue that is so problematic in a space that is outside of your control. But did you know that all your problems in life actually only exist in your mind, and that by simply dealing with your mind and working to enhance its capabilities, that you can finally be able to see the truth and never be bothered by anything in your life? But you might be saying, oh, but all my problems do exist out there in the world. You know, it's my job, it's my boss, it's my bank account, it's all these people in my life whose sole existence is to make my life a living hell. All these things exist out there in the world, and I have to deal with them in my inner world. Okay, I hear you. And if this is you today, keep watching, because by the end of this video, you are going to be able to recognize every trick your mind is using to create, multiply, and complicate problems that don't even exist in your life. But before we do that, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, here on my channel I talk about how you can find your passion and go after it at any age, how you can find balance even at the most difficult times in your life, and how you can be happy with the things and the people you already have surrounding you. So if you're interested, make sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Also, make sure to check out the description box. I have links to my website, my new book, my social media accounts, and so much more. Each and every one of them tailored to help you become your best self. Now, let's get to today's topic. So, number one is judgment. Oh, yes. Your mind is continuously and constantly judging things before it turns them into a problem that you now have to deal with. A problem that didn't exist before. I myself have suffered from this in the past, where my own uncontrollable thoughts and my mind's tendency to judge things just creates a whole other problem that didn't exist before. And this is because it's a habit. It is a pattern of literally converting something that you could easily brush off into something that is a serious problem. You know, that now occupies your entire mind space and is now taking your time. The judgment that started maybe with comparison or victimhood or whatever scenario that existed at that moment slowly morphs into this emotionally charged, anger-inducing incident that could have been easily avoided through awareness and avoiding judgment. You know, a decision on your side not to engage. Because if you could simply become aware of the thought and decide not to engage with it, it loses almost all its power right that moment. And this is definitely an important skill to develop in your life, because your mind is so powerful. It has the ability to keep going on. It can continue multiplying your thoughts into infinity, you know, endless thoughts that are going to, in the end, drive you nuts. And that's something you don't want. You want to use this powerful faculty in your body to actually create the things that you want, create peace in your mind and success and happiness in whatever it is that you do. So in order to do that, the most important thing the most important skill for you is to be in control of your mind. Meaning that when your mind is, going about its day, creating stuff, trying to complicate things for you, trying to show you all the darkness in your life, all the problems in your life, because that's in its nature to try and solve things, but it's also, in your nature. You are more powerful and you can intervene and stop it from driving you nuts, stop it from accumulating and putting all this rubbish, keeping all these thoughts that you don't need and creating all these unnecessary scenarios in your mind. The power of your mind should only be used or utilized to discern things that are good for you and things that you don't need in your life. That's it. Other than that, there is no need for you, to waste your mind's energy, maybe thinking about the past, thinking about the outside world, maybe in relation to your self-image or your self-worth, thinking about what other people think of you and trying to prove yourself to the world. All these things are going to create all this dangerous judgment, victimhood, and anger, resentment within you that eventually is going to compromise the capabilities of your mind, because your mind is powerful, like I said, but if you are not going to be there, present, to guide it through to the right direction, the right path, it might go astray and it actually can do things that go against your interest, and you have to be the one to stop this. So stop judging others, stop judging yourself, stop judging life, and instead learn to flow with it. And naturally, your mind will become peaceful. Because when you are so non-judgmental that any negativity that is thrown at you from the outside world is simply not a thing in your world, in your inner world, you become untouchable. And your mind becomes this place of bliss instead of the, torture chamber it once was for you. Number 2 is false interpretations. So your mind being part of the material world, because your thoughts are a subtle form of matter, it can only interpret things from your recent memories, your experiences, and more importantly, the belief system that already exists within you. So you can see the danger from the get-go, because if your belief is part of the formula, then your mind's conclusions about things can only be delusional at best. Because when any type of a belief is inserted in the process of trying to understand something new, the end result is going to be false and dangerous interpretations that can only create ignorance about the very thing that you're trying to understand. But you, not being of only the material world, have the luxury to activate your inner wisdom, which is beyond the mind, and start to look at things from different angles, which will help you to come to a conclusion that is not stained by ignorance or a belief system that could distort the truth or the reality of anything that you're looking into. Because false interpretations of the mind is one of the reasons, the main reasons, for all your pain and suffering and emotional turmoil you experience in your lifetime. And this is due to your own laziness to really, to get to the bottom of things and really get to know the nature of your own mind. Because your mind is not responsible for the contents of your thoughts. It's not responsible for how long a thought lingers in your head, because the minute you decide to get rid of a thought, the minute you decide to take control of your mind, things change. Your mind is only responsible for the level and the intensity of the analysis and all the good stuff that's going on up here. But if you don't want something to bother you, if you don't want something to stay in your mind space, it's up to you to get rid of it. Don't wait for your mind to finish calculating, animating, analyzing everything. By the time, in the end you realize that you are powerless. You have now come up against something that you can't really win, because it's a thought that has now multiplied itself, and you have now so many interpretations, you have now so many ideas, wrong beliefs, you have now a lot of anger, you have developed resentment, and by this time it's just going to be too late for you to do anything about it. So number 3 is attachment. So your mind is attached to your identity, your story, your pain, your suffering. And because of this, it now has developed a distinct angle from which it looks and perceives and interprets and understands things in your life. The attachment to all the made-up stories of your life gets so big in your mind that anything that deviates from this creates a lot of anger, anxiety, and distress. And the answer is to stop being so enamored and attached to your story and instead develop the ability to see the truth that you are an ever-changing and evolving self that has no need for a past self or identity to hold on to. So that's it for today, guys. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, don't forget to make your peace of mind your highest priority. And I will see you on my next video.